everybody, today in this lesson I'm going to be talking about seasoning your TikTok pixel, arguably the most important step in making sure that you see success with your ad campaigns. So let's begin. Alrighty marketers, today we're going to talk about seasoning the pixel, arguably the most important part of starting your TikTok ad account. A lot of marketers tell me that their ads aren't spending, they're not seeing the results that they want, and usually this all boils down to not seasoning the pixel correctly. So let me show you how I set up my ad accounts and how I like to think about the funnel to make sure that your pixel is seasoned so that you get the best performance possible. So let's start by thinking about the funnel. And my background is in e-commerce. I do TikTok ads mostly for e-commerce brands, so I'm going to think about it through the lens of e-commerce, but I'll also explain how this applies to different industries as well. So we have our funnel here. And the funnel in this scenario is going to represent the different pixel events that you can optimize for on TikTok and where you should start in order to properly season the pixel. So for e-commerce, I like to start my ad accounts by seasoning the pixel with the add to cart event. So what does this mean? This means that when I'm setting up my campaigns and my ad sets, it's going to ask me for the option of which conversion event I want to optimize towards. And when I'm first setting up a TikTok campaign for a brand new client, I'm always optimizing for add to cart for e-commerce. The way this works is that TikTok will count conversions for people who add to cart when seeing your ad, and then it will use that to further optimize the pixel. So I always start optimizing for add to cart. The next event that I'll optimize for is initiate checkout. So as you can see, I'm going lower and lower down the funnel, ultimately to purchase. So once I've properly seasoned the pixel towards add to cart, then I'm going to try optimizing for initiate checkout and see if I can get better results optimizing for initiate checkout. And then once I season the pixel for initiate checkout, then I optimize ultimately for purchase. Seasoning the pixel is incredibly important. So let me dive a little bit deeper into what that means in context of first starting with add to cart, then initiate checkout, then purchase. So when I'm first setting up my TikTok campaigns and I optimize for add to cart, and like I said, if you're in a different industry, just think about the most top of the funnel event that you could optimize for. Maybe that is traffic, maybe that is a button click to enter your email for a lead. It really doesn't have to be add to cart, but for e-commerce, I always use add to cart as the first event. And I always usually start with just one or two ad sets in my ad account. I'm usually optimizing towards an interest audience or a lookalike or a very broad audience, but the most important thing is that I'm optimizing for add to cart. So what do I mean by seasoning the pixel? The most important thing to remember when seasoning the pixel is the rule of 50. And what that means is that you need 50 conversion events each week in order for the ad set to be optimized. If you've advertised using Facebook ads before, this should sound very familiar. You need 50 conversions a week in order for the pixel to understand who your ideal customer is and who to better serve the ads to. So 50 ads to cart a week on each ad set is needed to get through the learning phase and to get your ad set optimized. So the reason why we start with an upper level conversion event like add to cart, instead of just jumping straight to purchase, because I know a lot of you are thinking, ultimately with your TikTok ads, you're trying to get purchases. But TikTok will have no idea who to serve your ads to unless you first start by optimizing for add to cart and getting through the learning phase and getting 50 add to carts a week on any given ad set. So as long as you're getting 50 add to carts a week on your ad set, then you'll be able to get through the learning phase and you'll start to see what your actual performance is. I never measure performance until I get through that 50 conversions a week. Now, here's another important number to know, and this is 1,000. So essentially, what you need in the lifetime of the pixel, so this is not just for the week, but for the lifetime that you're running your ads, you're going to need 1,000 add to carts on your pixel before you start optimizing for initiate checkout. And then you need another 1,000 initiate checkouts on your pixel before you can start optimizing for purchase. So 50 and 1,000 are the two numbers to keep in mind. You need 50 add to carts a week in order to get through the learning phase and for your ad set to optimize. But then ultimately, you need 1,000 add to carts in the lifetime of your pixel in order to start optimizing for initiate checkout successfully. So I'm gonna go through in the next lesson how I determine my budgets in terms of how do I get through the learning phase and get that 50 conversions a week on my add to cart, and how long it's going to take in order to get 1,000 add to carts on the pixel and 1,000 initiate checkouts on the pixel to ultimately optimize for purchase.